Welcome back. Well, it's time to install these pickups. Now, it's going to be more than just a matter of wiring them up because we have to mount them, and we're mounting them on these springs and adjusting screws. Now, that shouldn't be a problem, right? Well, no, it's not a problem, but it is going to take a tad longer because the holes for the screws aren't drilled. So, we'll do that now. So, step one is going to be to put the wires in because this thing needs to set more or less level so I can line up the holes. There's a hole right here that goes through to the control cavity. The wires always have a mind of their own, but we get them in there and we get them poked through, and we will pull them out this side. Now you'll notice I have these controls loose. That's so that I can solder to them later, and I just lost my grip on that, so I get to poke it through again. Pro tip, don't do that. Alright, here we are. These wires don't seem to like each other all of a sudden. They want to stay as far apart as possible. Yeah, I know, I anthropomorphize everything. So, alright, now we pull them on through like that. And our pickup drops nicely into there, but it's not sitting level on account of those wires. So, I need to get it as level as I can, like so. And now, these holes are going to serve as drill guides for me. I have my drill here with the right size bit selected, and as before, we're just going to drill a quick pilot hole for each one. After that, we'll let the screws do the rest. So, there's that one. We will drill this one when we get ready to install it. Right now, let's put the springs in and get this thing mounted. Okay, let's do this. Now, contrary to my usual practice, I actually have all of my screws and springs laid out here in nice, neat little rows so I can pick them up, as opposed to what I ordinarily do, which is suddenly look around and say, now where did that go? So, we will put our screws into this one. And I will try my best to keep my hand out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Now, if I play my cards right, these springs should stay on there when I turn this over and set it in place. The operative word there is should, as we know, but the chances are good. And there we are, they did. Look at that. Now, the tricky part is making sure that the screws are going clear through the spring and not coming out the side of it. So for that, I'm going to need to take a quick look here. And it looks like we're all good. So the next step is going to be to get them started in those holes. So I'm not going to use the power screwdriver for that yet. I'm going to go ahead and get it started by hand. And the reason for that is because the tips of these screws aren't necessarily in those holes I drilled. So that's the other thing we got to do, is we got to get it in the right place. So this may take a bit, and it's probably going to take a lot of work with the flashlight, so I'll be right back. All right, one down. That just leaves this one. Now, here's a silly little question. Which part goes where? Which one goes in here and which one goes in here? I really don't know if it makes a difference. So, and the wires come off the middle of both of them. So, regardless, those are going to be, yeah. So, I think, based on the way the wires are, I don't know what I'm going to do. The problem is getting the wires through that opening between them, because as you can see, this red one really wants to ride outside. So I think I'm going to go this way, and that means the white wire is going to go underneath. So and we just poke the wires through, grab them out the other side, and there we are. So, with the wires pulled through, they're set down pretty nicely. So, it's just a matter of putting in our screws and springs so they're adjustable, and we'll do that now. Now, each of these only takes 2 screws, so that will simplify things a lot. Let me find those wires here. Which way did they go, George? There you are, elusive little Dickens. All right. Okay, we got the wires through. So, now these, except for that stupid red wire, are nicely dropping into place like that. So, drilling the holes is going to be pretty easy. Just level it out a little bit like that. And then a 1. I said level it out. A 2. And over here, this is already pretty level, so we're going to go a 1, a 2. All right. Now it's time for screws and springs. So, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, this part sometimes has been known to defeat my shaky hands. But we'll see how this goes. So, we'll do this one first because I'm holding it. Spring on. Spring on. All right. Now, this is nice because I can actually, there's enough of a gap here that I can actually see where my pilot hole is. And with a little help from my flashlight, I can do the same over here. You can see how bad my hand is shaking. That is a fact of life for me. So, yeah, it's just a thing my hands do. Yeah, I'm having trouble with this thing. I'm sure you can see that. All right. There it is. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, that's that one. If I suddenly sneeze, I apologize. There are those of us who sneeze with rare power. I am one of those. My wife sneezes like a cat. Several little tss, 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 like that. Her record is 9. Average is about 7. And me, I get it out of the way in 1 or 2 great big ones. So, now neither of us planned it that way. It's just genetics. I don't know why. But that's the way it goes with us. And so we're quite an amusing contrast in that regard. And we have fun with it. So, then again, as you may have surmised for some of the stories I tell, we do our best to have fun with most everything that happens in our lives. So, and we are thoroughly in agreement about that, which is why we are, this June, we will have been together for 43 years. And we're pretty happy with that. And we're happy with each other, is what it boils down to. And I'll tell you what, if you find that person that you can say that about, drop to your knees and give thanks. Because a lot of people never do. I am so thankful for my wife. I like to say, she's the second best thing that ever happened to me, and her only rival is Jesus. And who can compete with him? So, that's how it goes. And to think that entire little discourse grew out of a sneeze. But anyway, we're getting this thing in place, as you can see. I am really happy with the springs and screws that they gave me, because they're really easy to work with and the springs stay in place. So that was something I expected to have much more of a fight over. If you recall my work on a couple of the Stratocasters, this was nothing like that. These were easy. So I will get those leveled and adjusted and all that good stuff later on. But for now, they're in, and so the next step is going to be to solder up the connections.